Welcome back. So we're back at the delete button right here, and again, what should we do? Well, we need a click event right here for the delete button. We need to say what should happen when I actually click this guy right here. And again, I'm kind of just going to split this into multiple lines. I just like that way of actually showing the code. So what are we going to do if we click the delete button? Well, we're going to delete something. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. What do we want to delete? Well, we actually want to delete the joke. But that's not necessary to pass that in since it's already available in the TypeScript code. So we're just going to call a delete function inside our TypeScript code. Now the next step is of course to add this function inside our TypeScript code right here. So I'm jumping into the details jokeTS file and I'm going to just make a function, call it delete, and there we go. Now we have the delete available and this guy will actually be, when I click it, this guy will be hit, right? So now we have this function available. Next part, we need a service. So we're going to add the jokeService, right? Again, we're going to put all the logic about any kind of operation that we need to do with jokes, any CRUD, create, read, update, delete operation we need with jokes. We're going to put that inside our jokeService right here. So we're going to need a jokeService now to delete something. So we're going to grab that service and then we're going to delete our item. So we're going to say this jokeService like this to point to that jokeService right there on line 22, this guy. And then we're going to say dot delete, but we didn't make that function yet. So let's make it. Now what we need to delete, we're going to pass in the joke that's locally right here, and we're going to pass in the ID of that joke, right? That's the goal. So we're going to have to figure out, oh sorry, it should shade this joke. We need to figure out how we can actually now create a function in the service that can delete a joke from our list of jokes. So let's jump into the jokeService down here. There we go, we have the jokeService. Now we have a lot of methods already, but we don't have a delete method. So let's create that delete method. And that delete method is pretty much going to get in an ID from the outside. That's going to be of the type string. How do you know it's a string, Lars? Well, if you jump into your models and you look at your joke, it seems that my ID in the jokes is actually a string. I can see that inside the model. So let's jump back to our service right here, because now I know that I'm getting a string in when I'm actually trying to delete something. There we go. Now inside this guy I also want to return an observable like we've done in the getJokes. I'm just going to paste that in here. Instead of returning all jokes, I just want to return the single joke I just deleted. Now you can return anything you want. I just decided to do it this way. Now the final thing I want to do is kind of just wrap this up by actually creating the observable, so we next lesson can start actually populating information in here for how we actually delete a joke. But notice now I kind of opened up my service so I can actually at some point return information when the joke has actually been deleted. I'm sending back an observable that I can listen, subscribe to, and at some point it'll say, the joke is deleted, my friend, happy days, do something. So let's jump back to the details TS file right here and say .subscribe like this. When we're done, we're going to get a joke back. I'm not going to use that joke for anything, but here pretty much what I can do is just console log joke was deleted. So I can just put it in right here, delete it like this, do a comma, and add the joke I just deleted right here. So now I've pretty much set this guy up for when I'm clicking the delete function, I'm calling the service. Right now this guy isn't doing anything, it's not deleting the joke, but it's actually going to return an observable and just explain that I just deleted the joke, even though I didn't. So we'll have to fix that in the next lesson.